What's up guys, welcome back to On the Brick. Today I have something for you that is a little different and a little special. A few weeks ago on Instagram, someone by the name of Elemental Bricks reached out to me asking if I could review their latest build. Full disclosure here, they did send me just the instructions for free, so I promptly ordered the pieces and built this. This is Elemental Bricks OMS Devilfish. Now this is a pretty small build with only 136 pieces, so it only took me about 20 minutes to put together. There aren't any real crazy techniques in here or anything, but it is still a really cool build that comes together very nicely. What's funny is that despite being a really big fan of the Clone Wars and Star Wars in general, I kind of forgot that this thing existed. And it's doubly weird because I do actually remember the episodes it comes from, which are the very first 2 episodes of Season 4. And looking at the provided image on Wikipedia, it really seems that Elemental Bricks did a really decent job when making this set. Obviously making something this smooth and round at this scale would be a challenge for anyone, but I think this came across pretty well. I would definitely call this a playset though, and wouldn't really say that it's the most accurate, as there are definitely some areas that don't quite match as well as I would like them to. For instance, these rocket fins at the very front should definitely be a dark red or a red, and now I don't know if those come in that color, but they should be that color. On the flip side, I do like how he added this little bit of landing gear, which is kind of weird for an underwater vehicle, but in terms of playing, it helps it stand up on its own, which is something that it would obviously be able to do anyway, but this just makes it easier. I also like how he managed to get the vents on the underside here, as they do match what we see on the real thing. Now, along with some smaller differences like the fins on the front, there is one really big difference that stood out to me immediately, and that is the lack of a cockpit on top. Well, not necessarily a cockpit, but more the windshield, which begs the question of, is it still a windshield if it's underwater? But it's a very noticeable lacking element of this build, and the biggest reason I can see as to why it's not there is because these top guns are a little too high compared to where they should be. Now, I didn't take an in-depth look at how this build actually comes together, and so I don't really know off the top of my head if there would be any easy way to lower them and fix this. Of course there is, because the dark red wedge slopes, which I've now had to say 4 times, could easily be switched out, allowing the guns to be lowered and subsequently a windshield to be put in. It would take a little bit of redesigning, but it is definitely something that could be done. Now, this build is not minifig scale. In fact, here is Kit Fisto standing next to it, and you can see that it is considerably larger than it should be if it was to be minifig scale. Again, Elemental Bricks was not going for that, and it's completely understandable why, as this design in minifig scale would be incredibly difficult if possible. In fact, because of the weird odd shapes on this build, it's probably better as a bigger build. This is actually something that I would like to see in a UCS style, as it would allow for some of those more intricate curves to be fleshed out. As I hinted at earlier, there are some things that I don't really like, but that's just because I'm a stickler for accuracy. The engines don't really flush with the set, the white pieces on the side don't really match what we see, and there are some color differences as well. But I'm just nitpicking at that point, because this is a perfectly fine set for what it is. You're not getting some, 3,000 piece outlandish super detailed set here, you're getting a 136 piece playset basically, and honestly, I like it. And if you're looking at getting one of these for yourself, the instructions are only $3, and you can find the link for that in the description down below. Pieces for this are pretty cheap. I got mine for about $15. I've seen it ranging from about $12 to $20 in the various ways that I checked. In any case, that's all I have for you today. Let me know your thoughts on this set in the comments down below, and if you're interested in seeing me review something you made, whether it's instructions or a minifigure, feel free to contact me at the email in the description down below. Just be forewarned that there are some rules and restrictions in place, and I will not be accepting everything. That said, if you want to see more sets from people like you, remember to like this video, and please do consider subscribing and ringing that bell, as it helps me out a ton. If you really want to support the channel and help me get closer to monthly giveaways, then please do consider checking out my Patreon, where you can join these awesome people. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.